guys, what is going on? I am Yeek. We are back with another video, and today in this video we're going to be going over the best class setups for beginners here in Black Ops 4. Now, if you guys are been around the channel for a while, you know that I did actually make a video like this in Call of Duty World War II. That video was pretty successful, so I decided now that this is actually a perfect time to make a setup or to make a video like this, just because a lot of people are getting into the game, and since it's around the holiday season, I think that a lot of people are going to start purchasing the game more, and the game will be a little bit cheaper. So a lot of people will be looking for best class setups for beginners, and a lot of the best class setups in the game are unlocked later in the game, but there are some definitely good class setups here in the beginning, in which I'll be going over those today. I'll be going over 4 of them if some people are wondering, and that will be it. But if you guys are new to the channel and you guys see more content like this, do not forget to drop a like on this video. That'd be fantastic. Our last video did fantastic. And if you are new and want to see more Black Ops 4 content like this, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully we can get to 170 soon. Anyways, guys, with that all out of the way, let's get right into the video. Alright, now that you guys know all of that out of the way, we can actually get started. So how the thing is going to work is there will be about 4 class setups I'll be talking with you guys today, and that one's going to be a 2 SMG setup, LMG setup, and a assault rifle setup. So anyway, let's get on with the first one. I'll be addressing the SMG ones first, just because I feel like that a lot of people are SMGs here in the game, and SMGs have bigger transition from Call of Duty World War II here to Black Ops 4, so it will be a little bit longer. So allow me to explain this one first. But the first one we're talking about is the MX9. This is the class that I use probably the most with SMGs. This is by far my favorite SMG here in Black Ops 4. Now, a lot of people say that it is very weak, but I don't really find it that way. I think that it's really powerful if you have the right attachments. So what attachments I'm going to be using today are going to be long barrel and the hybrid mags. Now, I decided to go with these ones. Oh, and also the ELO sight as well. But the reason why I decided to go with these attachments is long barrel is definitely going to be important when going against enemies at a distance. There's a lot of SMGs here in Black Ops 4 are, as usually for SMGs, aren't really that great at a distance compared to assault rifles and LMG. So having long barrel will definitely keep you inside that competition. And also hybrid mags is by far one of the most versatile and one of the most interesting attachments here in the game, just because it's kind of like 2 attachments in one. If you guys don't know what it does, hybrid mags does give you extended mags. You get 15 extra bullets, I believe, and you also get fast mag at the same time, so you're able to fast reload and have more ammo, which is definitely important to have, and it's definitely the best attachment you can get on the MX9. Now, the perks are going to be actually pretty consistent with these class setups, just because like a lot of the good perks will not be unlocked till later, but there are definitely some gems in here, including one of my favorites, which is going to be Engineer, which is going to be perk 1. Perk 2 is going to be Lightweight, and perk 3 is going to be Ghost. I always think that Ghost is a great one just because it keeps you off that UAV, which is really important. UAV or the mini-map radar is by far one of the most important aspects here in Call of Duty Black Ops 4, so it'll definitely be important to you. And this is the SMG setup. This is my favorite SMG setup actually all in the whole entire game, so I think it's good that all the beginners get to try it out. So if you guys have these attachments unlocked, I recommend giving this gun a try. Coming up in the next class setup we're going to be addressing today is going to be the GKS. Now, the GKS is by far, actually is up there with one of my favorite SMGs in the game. It is definitely I would say my 3rd favorite best behind the SOG 9mm, but this gun is by far a really interesting one. I do like it, and a lot of people say they don't like it just because it kind of takes forever to kill, which I can kind of agree with that. But I think that as long as you're kind of accurate and you have good accuracy and you adjust sensitivity, I think that you won't have a big problem with it. But with all that being said, let's get into it. So now the first attachments I'm going to be using for the GKS are going to be the reflex sight, the long barrels 1 and 2, and grip. So if you guys do not really know what these attachments do, the long barrels 1 and 2, you guys already know what long barrel does. You guys kind of already know my reason behind it, just because of the MX9 exclamation. But if you long barrel 2 is kind of the same idea, but you're able to shoot your bullets a little bit faster. So it's kind of like having rapid fire a little bit in a way, but it really will not affect, or it basically does is speed up the bullets to the enemies. So I think that's really, really important to have. So not only you're shooting faster at a distance, so it's kind of like you're shooting faster, like double tap in a way. So I think that is very, very important to have on the gun. And grip, of course, just keeps it really steady. I think the GKS is already steady enough, but having the grip will definitely help you out in those distances. So it just helps you out from a distance, and that's what this gun I'm trying to highlight it on, just because of distance. I think a lot of SMGs in this game do have to rely on distance, but for perks it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to be running Tactical Mask, Lightweight, and I'm going to be also running Ghost. And for the gears, I did not mention the MX9 part, which I do apologize, but it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to be running ComSec Device, just because ComSec Device it of course makes your streaks go a lot easier. I think that once you start getting that streak cycle, I think that's really hard to break, and you'll get a whole bunch of kills that way. So I think that's important. So let's move on to the next setup. Coming up in the next class setup I'm going to be talking about is going to be the AR setup. Now, the assault rifle setup I'm going to be using today is, well, the assault rifle I am going to be using today is going to be the ICR-7. Now, this gun is definitely one of the interesting ones here. Although it did get nerfed within the last couple updates, it is still one of the best weapons to use in the game. And the class setup I'll be using is also going to be the same class setup I used in my previous video of the ICR best class setup. If you guys want to get into more detail, understand the ICR a little bit more, I'll have a card on top of your screen right now. Please go click that one if you guys want to see. I recommend you guys check it out. It is a pretty good video, but if you guys want to stick to here, that is fine too. So what I'm going to be talking about today is the ICR, and the attachments I'm going to be using is going to be the long barrel and grips 1 and 2. Now, you guys, grips 1 and 2 basically reduces your flinch, which is going to be like really crucial. This thing has like no recoil when you use the grips 1 and 2, and having long barrel is just the way to keep the guns, you know, damage effective at a distance, just because it has a very low damage compared to the other assault rifles here. So I think that it's important to keep that damage at that longer distance. So the perks I'm going to be using is going to be the same thing: engineer, lightweight, and ghost. I think this is one of the best combinations, especially for if you're a beginner. And the equipment I'm going to be using is going to be the CompStick device as the same. The perks and the gears won't really change up that much. I think that when it comes to gears, I think you guys can really choose what you guys want to. Just like, don't choose something that you won't be using. Like if you don't have a headset, don't use acoustic sensor. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a conservative guy, don't use stim shot. So you just really gotta think about it. And I use CompStick device a whole lot, so I think CompStick will be good for beginners, especially when they're not as good, and it'll make the streaks easier to unlock. The final class setup I will be talking about today is actually going to be an LMG setup, and the LMG you're going to be using today is going to be the Titan. But you can basically use the same attachments for the Hades as well, so if you guys do want to use a Hades instead of a Titan, then be my guest. But we're going to be talking about the Titan today. So the Titan, we're going to be using, the attachments will be the reflex sight, the quick draw, and stock. Now, the reason why I decided to go with the reflex sight is because like the iron sight is not really that good, and there is some recoil, so I think that having a reflex will be able to counter that a little bit. And plus, when you're a beginner, your aim's not really at the peak best, so using a reflex just to make it a lot easier. Having quick draw is also important for any LMG in general. I think that since it has a really slow ADS time, I think that putting the quick draw is going to counter that a little bit, and it's going to help, and it's going to remedy it a little bit. So, and also choose stock just because you have a little bit more ability when moving down sight. So usually when you're using the LMG, your movement speed is very slow. When you're aiming down sight, you really don't have that much time to strafe or move around a little bit. So I think that having the stock will definitely be able to let you move around a little bit. So just make it a lot easier. And for the attachments and the gear pieces, it's all going to be the same thing. It's going to be lightweight, engineer, and ghost. Well, the gear piece is going to be CompStick device. So it's all gonna be the same thing. I know it does sound a little bit repetitive for those ones, but that's definitely important to have, especially when you're a beginner. When I mean by beginner, like usually like level 20 or below, so it's definitely a level 20 or below kind of friendly type of video. So the LMG class up, I know there's not really much to say about this one, but I think that a lot of players should always have an LMG class up. I know I do, and I always have one, so I think having this one's really good, especially when playing on small maps like Nuketown. So anyway, let's move on. Alright guys, this pretty much marks the end of this video as I explain all the class ups today. But before you guys go, please tell me how would you comment in the comment section below what you guys think of these class ups, and if you guys do like them, that would be great. And also, if you do like them, then please leave a like on this video. That'd be fantastic. And if you are new and want to see more Call of Duty Black Ops 4 content like this, then subscribe to the channel for stuff like this. And guys, I will see you in the next video. Peace.